Okay, so what's up everyone? So we are back again with this website thing. So today we'll talk about a 5 vs 5 builds. Previous video was about solo ganking builds, and now we'll talk about a 5 vs 5 man builds. Like, main thing, like in this game you can like make so many builds and stuff, have so many diversity, but I mainly will talk about the new meta builds that really like is working good, as well as we'll discuss and stuff, and what, like, if you're just making a new team, what are the mandatory things at least to have to build a good team build or whatever. So basically let's start at first. So always you want to have a healer, mainly a tank. Tank is like optional, but 90%, I would say 80% always use a tank. So you want to have a healer, a tank, then a debuffer, and 2 or 3 DPS guys. So basically the debuff guys also the DPS. So basically 3 DPSs, 1 healer and 1 tank. That's usually the main comp. The main thing, but for healer it goes either way. Holy staff, it's really preferable. Holy, sometimes people use also a druidic staff, that's also good for as a nature healer. It's just personal preference for the healer and for the comp. Then, so basically that's the healer, either way go with nature healer or holy healer. So then the next thing is you want to have a curse staff. 100% always go with curse staff. Really, right now only curse staff that's viable, it's the best one, is demonic staff, like you can right now see. So demonic staff is really good for that 70% ability. He has this field of death that reduces healing by 70%, and it's like the circle thing, and the AoE is like really massive. So like in the new builds and stuff, it's like mandatory, as well as it's really armor piercer is one of the main things why you want to have. So then the third thing is tank. Usually people in the previous method there was like maces were the only thing, so 200 mace was the only thing. Right now also the quarter staffs are good, so you can use the quarter staff line as a tank or mace for the tank line. And then to do DPSs. For DPS you can usually like mix and match. Either way, like people go with another ranged and a melee or 2 melees or 2 ranged. They like in the DPS line you can mix and match. In a tank, healer and curse, it's always like mandatory to have those 3, but then you can mix and match. So for example, the melee could be Clarion Blade, like you can see right now in this build. It's really like in the new meta, like the glaives are really good. So the glaive weapons, like you can see this glaive is really good, so for the fling ability, as well as like carrying collars are good, so those weapons are good as the melee bruisers. Carrying collars, all spears, so Heroic Spear, then the glaive, as well as scythe and Clarion Blade. Those weapons are really good for melee bruisers. And then the 5th weapon is usually ranged or as well melee. Either way, if people go ranged, they pick like a fire staff, a frost staff. One of the most, like right now, the best weapon I would say is easily 100 frost. Because 100 has such a big root and such high damage. Of course it lacks in mana, so that's why usually they like the guy who takes the 100 frost with the shield, of course, sarcophagus shield. They also take the mana cowl, so that's also mandatory to have at least 1 mana cowl, so druidic cowl, so like the fights can last longer and no one runs out of mana. So in my opinion, like the 100 frost is really good. That's basically that, like usually people, all the teams you can see 100 frost, holy staff, mace tank and curse staff, and then the 5th one is optional. Like right now the purely the meta build is this one that you can see. Only if sometimes people switch from fire staff to 100 frost with shield. So if you switch this from 100 frost and shield, this is basically the meta build with the demonic curse staff, 200 mace, glaive, holy staff, and like I said, 200 frost. It's really good, really powerful. Right now, yes, in future people are saying that glaives will get nerfed and stuff, but I don't think, in my opinion, or it will be like in a long future, like the previous beta. They only nerf after 2 or 3 months the dual daggers or whatever, because everyone is using them. So at release, of course, they will not do as big buffs or as big nerfs, but yeah, like, so this is basically it. Also, the one quick tip is that the better your team is, the higher you can run, especially like the main things that you do is Hellgates and GVGs. Of course, in future videos you'll also be able to see, guys, like how to train for 5 vs 5, how to launch attack and stuff. So those videos will also come out soon. As well as, like, for example, you can see some people use artifacts. So Holy Staff uses Eye of Secrets as artifact. Other people use like this smoke bomb, so they use the leather helmet. Like in the future, the stronger you are, the more you can be flexible, and the more you know that you will like ever like lose fights. So basically you win 9 out of 10 fights. You will see teams running like demon helmets. So this is like purely, I would say, cheap builds and stuff, the cheapest that they can get. And in future, like, people will go like Frost Staff or Fire Staff, whatever, will go for Mana Cow. Care Staff can go for, as well as either way, also another Mana Cow, or for Demonic Demon Helmet, I mean, as well as Two-Handed Mace can go for Demon Helmet. So basically, like, for at the start you need to make the build that's good as a budget build, and then in future you can level up the artifact weapons. So for example, Two-Handed Mace, whenever it's like Fame Farms and stuff, you should definitely use Royal Helmet, and the Royal Helmet is kinda cheap, and it will level up also the Demon Helmet tree. So basically you can like mix and match and use some cheap artifacts that also levels up a whole artifact tree for helmets, for weapons, or whatever. So this is basically it. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoy. I'll also put the links and stuff for the GVG builds. If you have any specific questions or whatever, let me know. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch for daily live streams. If you have any private messages or whatever, questions in depth or whatever, let me know either way in comment section down below, or private message me on Twitter. And see you guys in the next video. Peace.